In fact, there was one doctor that eventually he'd written a journal, and after he died, they read into it, and he basically his statement. He never said this outwardly, but his statement on the girl's condition was basically that the parents had been right for locking her away, because clearly there was something wrong with her.
Your obsession with destruction is
That may kind of just goes to show that the level of understanding people had of mental issues back then was severely lacking. You could clearly tell that this happened that she became who she is because of what happened to her, and not the other way around.
Makes for an ill place to be more.
But yeah, that made my fucking blood boil. It is. I mean, it is thanks to cases like this that in today's day and age, a lot of the issues that were uncovered back then are now a lot more evidently studied. So it did end up having a good effect, I'd say, on today's society. Because even then, the researchers and doctors back then didn't take this seriously. They did document the fuck out of it, and we have since obviously taken it into account.
Even in apocalypses.
But yeah, I mean, that was just fucking sad as shit. Another sad little detail was that the guy that she was supposed to be going to marry, he never really believed that she had disappeared, or run off, or had died, or whatever they told him, and had actually been waiting for her his whole life.
Nexus fragment if we ask nicely.
Yikes.
And he died, I think it was in an accident as well, like he died a couple of days before they discovered, and I'm pretty sure that had he been alive, he would have done everything in the world that was possible to kind of help her to some degree. I don't think he would have left her alone, honestly.
Fair.
But yeah, in the end, everyone did leave her alone, and she kind of died the way she lived. Just, yeah, kind of heartbreaking. And when I say kind of, I mean very.
Now, and you could win a fabulous prize. The prize is satisfaction and a job well done. Same as all the
But yeah,
others.
so that's story time with Uncle Duncan for today. I told you I was gonna make your day worse.
Yep.
And I delivered. But anyway, if you ever if your little brother pisses you off a little bit too hard, you know what to do with him now. Just put him in a dark room for years.
Guess not. Looks like our attempt at diplomacy has failed.
It does seem to confirm that there's something important
But
inside.
yeah. What Aesthetic just said, this story has no good chapters, no redeeming qualities, no happy endings, no nothing. It's just a downward spiral from the moment that she was locked away. At least the other two, they had a happy ending. The girl that escaped in the second story and ended up talking to the guy, she now has a successful YouTube channel, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. I forgot the name of the channel, sadly enough. But yeah, no, they're doing good. And the first family, the ones that kind of got taken away and now living their lives anonymously, at least we know, as far as we know, they're doing good as well. And I think it's the right choice, to leave them out the spotlight, because otherwise this would always chase them around, and people would always treat them as the people that this happened to, and not just as the normal people, which is what they just want to become. And well, I bet they are by now. But yeah. I mean, we all knew this, but here's some extra clarification. People can really suck sometimes.
Seems our enemies left something behind that may be of use.
Only sometimes?
Oh yeah, I mean, there are some really nice people out there too, but there are some fucking. I mean, when you talk about people you don't like, they are like a massive improvement over people like this. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, fair.
The level of psycho you have to be in order to do something like this to your own family, and the fact that this happened more than once is just disgusting, honestly. Like when I was listening to this one yesterday and one today, both times I was driving at the time. I had to pull over the truck at the nearest stop and just kind of sit and think on this for a while. Like, holy shit, what the fuck did I just listen to?
Too much trouble. Well, a guy can dream, can he?
And then, I started switching on some videos that were a lot more nice in nature to kind of come back from this dark trip I just went down on.
Fair.
Where have you been?
It had to blow up some defense thingy. Lots of lasers, lots of explosions.
I am Groot.
Shh! What's the point in me lying if you go and tell them we were having dessert?
Focus, guys. What's the plan, Peter?
Well, I figured if we sneak in and...
I've been blinded!
Relax,
Oh
numbskull. It's
god,
just
they're
dark.
playing as this group.
So, what's with the mood
The,
lighting
the,
all
the
of a
Groot
sudden,
and such.
The power must be out. Look around and see if there's a way we can restore it.
The group that has Groot and such in it.
Groot?
Yeah, that group. I am Groot. Like, yeah, great. You sound like a Pokemon Groot because the only thing you say is your fucking name.
I mean, honestly, I mean, they're the Guardians of the Galaxy, aren't they?
I
They're the
don't
one
know.
group in Marvel I can kind of tolerate because, you know,
Oh,
at
come
least
on,
they
man,
don't actually
seriously?
take themselves seriously. There's a lot of like funny, dumb fucking jokes and just super fucking pop culture references in their movies and whatever. And because of that, I can kind of tolerate them a bit more. They don't really expect you to really, you know, sit down and take it seriously like some of the other Marvel movies do. As if it's the most cool shit in the world.
Do you mean as most of the other superhero movies do? Because it's not
Yeah,
just Marvel,
pretty
DC does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I actually have a DC game, not right after this, but there is a DC game still coming.
Oh,
part of
poor
this.
boy.
Yeah, DC Super Villains actually. So at least it's going to be not the good guys but the bad guys.
Yeah. And honestly, I just cannot ever find myself getting into superhero shit, honestly.
No, the only reason why I'm getting into this is because of Lego. That makes it bearable for
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah.
These power cells appear to be misplaced.
That explains the power outage. Guess we gotta put them back in.
Oh, man! I used to be so good at these games as a kid.
God, I really have to. I'm basically working a crane. Come on, I know I'm logistics, but Jesus Christ. There is also something that is called too much.
Yeah, I know, right?
I like the numbers game of logistics.
Guys? What are these things?
They're sentries. Advanced bipedal automatons used by the Kree in battle.
What?
If we're doing
Giant
cranes,
robots
then
that like to blast stuff.
Ha! What
I let other
fun.
people do that for me. That's not my job. I just make sure that the numbers are correct and that I'm the one who gets paid the most, which, yeah, numbers are correct, like I said.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to see a movie tomorrow. I'm gonna watch that Neil John Wick film. Which is funny, because I've never seen the other ones.
Oh, the other ones are so good.
I mean, honestly, the only thing I know about them is that it's basically, you know, a couple of hours of Keanu Reeves fucking people up, and I can watch that day long, honestly.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
just to clarify, the John Wick, like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Just the sheer amount of, like, shooting and, like, the amount of times that he actually hits.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see an action hero that's cool as shit and actually like a genuine badass. Because the one thing that I've always been told it really shows in the movies is that Keanu Reeves really does his own work and does his own stunts. And there's
Yes.
a lot of footage of him training for this shit that you can tell he's a machine, dude. Like, holy hell.
No point in
Man's
being quiet
dedicated.
no more.
The combat scenes, like,
I do stop talking if I want.
the shooting, holy
Focus.
fuck.
We need to find Ronan.
Yeah.
No doubt he
I
has the
also
Nexus
watched
fragment
the
with
Mario movie the other day.
Use lasers
Right,
to
with your,
protect themselves.
with my colleagues.
Yeah.
Not
There's
a
always
movie
a
I
way.
was going
Trust me,
into
there's no
expecting
security
to
system
come
I
out of
can't
it with
deal
my
with.
mind blown,
Haven't
going,
you
wow,
been
it was the
arrested
worst
like
thing I've
30
ever seen.
times, Quill?
But it was actually like a pretty entertaining movie, not gonna lie. Obviously, you know, it's I mean, it's just filled to the shit with references and stupid little Mario gags. But funnily enough, I expected them all to be kind of corny and cringy, but they all kind of just worked. Like, it wasn't too over the top, it wasn't too childish. You know, the humor was just right on the money, basically. And there was some like genuinely, you know, amazing moments. One thing I didn't expect that they'd get into, but something that I just loved the fuck out of, is that obviously, you know, you've got Bowser, who's famous, you know, for abducting the fuck out of Princess Peach at basically every opportunity you fucking get. In the movie, yeah, in the movie, you know, they kind of go into as to what his, motivation for this is. And, you know, you switch over to Bowser's perspective in this little castle with his army of Koopas and every other goddamn foe from any Mario game you've ever seen, which is just hilarious to see to begin with. And then he goes like, yes, we're gonna go to wars, and everyone's just shouting, going, yeah, let's fuck him up. We're gonna go to the Mushroom Kingdom. We're gonna, you know, wipe their armies to the ground. We're gonna wipe all the other armies to the ground. And then you see all the Koopas, all getting really fucking excited. And we're gonna fucking get in there, fight that Princess Peach, and then I'm gonna ask her to marry me. And everyone's going, huh? And he starts, you know, they're singing basically like a fucking love song, because he's like the biggest simp for Princess Peach ever. And you know, it's kind of creepy, because he's this big fucking turtle dude. And it's just the most hilarious thing, because you see every single fucking like Koopa Trooper there going, what the fuck? And they're like, what if she says no? Oh, then we're gonna burn this place to the ground. And everyone's like, yeah, let's go. And throughout the entire movie, you know, he keeps like coming up with like, oh, how do I talk to her, man? It's like, once I finally get to her, like, what do I say? And then they come up with like really dumb, cringy fucking like pickup lines that he eventually does actually use, which is just hilarious. I've also found my favorite new Mario character in the movie. Don't know what he is or what his name even is. But at some point, a lot of them are like captured in like, you know, little cages hanging above a lava lake, and they're being dangled down in chains. And everyone's like, well, you know, if we keep on having hope and stay together, it will be fine. And then this is one kind of like little floating star dudes that can easily slip through the cracks of the cage, just sitting there going, no, it is all hopeless. Life is meaningless. We're all gonna die. It's like, well, you're a ray of fucking sunshine. And eventually, you know, they'd start lowering the cages into the fucking lava, and the little floating star guy goes, yes, the sweet embrace of death. As if it's the most amazing thing he's ever been part of. And I was just amazed that was in a kids movie, honestly. Like this completely suicidal, ready to die, cute star guy.
It's I think a Luma from the Super Mario Galaxy games.
Probably. Everything in the movie must have been part of some game, and I've not played them all, but...
I played the Galaxy games, actually, so...
Nice.
Those were literally some of my most favorites.
Yeah, I just googled it, that's pretty much what it is, yeah. But at least, you know, this is the kind of movie if you really, you know, if you lower your expectations a bit and just, you know, you want to kind of relive some like childhood memories almost, yeah, it's a good ride. But don't go into the movie expecting your mind to be blown like from some emotional epiphany. Going, holy shit, this movie changed my life. Unless now you decided you want to be a big simp turtle, but you know, I don't think anyone's ever gone that far.
Well, that's gonna be my life now.
Yeah. One thing that I really liked is that eventually they decided, okay, we need to travel from here to here, and need to do it quickly. We're gonna need carts. And then the fucking Donkey Kong guys, you know, they go, okay, because they're like the racer group in the universe or something. Like, okay, you
Maybe
Mario,
you
Peach,
could've.
you need your own
I
cards.
don't
You know,
wanna be turned
come,
into a
we'll
pancake.
sort you out. And I shit you not, they walk over to a card maker
an
machine, which is just
expression,
exactly the same
Why
from
you
the
gotta
Mario
take
Kart games,
everything
which is just
so
hilarious.
literally?
Are you accusing me
Customize
of
your own card
stealing?
like that, and then some monkey makes it for you. And then the goddamn music. I mean, the music just slaps you in the face most of the time because it's just this nostalgia train from start to finish. I also didn't expect Mario and Luigi to grow up in Brooklyn, New York. Honestly, of all places. Like they have like a legit like plumber business. Like they've got like a family that doesn't really believe in them all that much. Existence is kind of painful for the guys. They make this commercial at the start of the movie that you see, where they actually talk in their little like Mario accents and ever. But then when the commercial's done, they just talk in like that regular New Yorker accents, which is just hilarious, honestly. And eventually, throughout when they have to do some plumbing stuff, they have to go down to the sewers, and then they find this big green pipe that they get sucked into, and that's how they end up in the Mushroom Kingdom world that we know.
Hadn't counted on running
And of
into
course, you
something
kind of
like
see them
this.
go, "What the flippity fuck is this?" Because I don't honestly, that's how I think I'd react when I get sucked into a big fucking green tube and end up in Hocus Pocus land.
Fair. Where the fuck is Groot? Groot is dying.
Oh no, Groot is dying. Oh, now will we recover from this?
It's because the AI couldn't properly let him move, like double jump and such.
I am Groot.
But there we go. They're done.
Ha! Way to go, big guy. Or a little guy.
Well done, my...
This doesn't feel right. Let's just get the shard and go.
Daughter of Thanos, is that any way for royalty to behave? You've spent too long in the company of thieves.
Ronan, thieves is such a strong word.
Let's see. Do
They
I have
could
anything
more
else to
as us
hijack your
borrowing
stream? But
itty
not
bitty
really.
chunk of crystal.
Silence. This shard
Fair.
taps into the infinite energy of the Nexus. With its power, I will lead my forces against
Yeah, I did. I was going to do a little bit more
what is placed in
writing
the Kree.
later tonight because you know I do have my day off tomorrow, so I can kind of stay on later a bit.
Well, that
I had
sounds fine to me.
basically
Let's
my
leave it
entire week has now consisted of about 12-hour shifts, which have kind of kicked my ass a little bit.
Then again,
Fair.
So I had a nap earlier, which was about an hour long, and then when I woke up, I felt worse than what I did, you know, when I started the nap. So it's like, thanks guys, appreciate it.
Dessert.
So I'm not sure how much I'm gonna get done tonight. I'm hoping to at least finish the prologue, because there's not a lot of that left, mostly done. So I can kind of dig my teeth into the first chapter tomorrow, which will kind of open up the real story, basically. You'll get all the other characters involved. We'll see that fucking useless fucking waste of space Carter for the first time.
Hey,
Damn
I just
fucking
realized
syndicate traitor.
we've got a tree helping us fight
I have
some
kind of also
dogs.
changed my
Yeah,
mind a little
seems
bit
like
on
poetic
what to
justice or
do
something,
with
huh?
Duncan
As long as no one says their
and
bias is worse than
his
our
reasons for
Wow, Gamora,
somehow ending
look
up at
you,
this school.
Busting out the pod.
Because obviously we have him kind of run into this magical entity early on in the prologue, and then obviously he's gonna run into it again in the school. And I figured, I mean, yeah, but that was just a little bit of a jump in coincidences there, so I had to tie it together, like find out a reason as to why he'd be there. And I figured a good way in would be the Syndicate, because the one thing I established earlier is that the Syndicate, obviously they've infiltrated most important organizations, and it's relatively easy to believe that they would have infiltrated the army as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
So his commanding officer will eventually be turned out to be a Syndicate agent, basically, is the one that connects the dots about what Duncan must have seen, and theorizes that he should probably send Duncan to that school. Now, he doesn't tell them anything about the Syndicate or whatever, but you know, they'll continually kind of be in touch as he's there, and Duncan will kind of fill him in and will get advice back. And he will they'll attempt to finally recruit him into the Syndicate as a whole, which It'll depend on where things are in the story at the moment and what Duncan feels like during that moment. If he'll actually go along with it or not. Obviously, it won't. Even if he does, then it won't stick. As soon as he figures out kind of what the Syndicate's all about, he'll jump right back out. But I might consider having him with the group for at least a little bit.
Yeah, let him eventually, like, it is eventually like freaking Carter who's the Syndicate.
Yeah. But I mean, that was like a way down the line type thing. I want to have like an insider's perspective on the Syndicate prior to that. Which I think Duncan would be kind of great for, to have him like a short kind of internship with the Syndicate pretty much. And it would also kind of be very touching that it basically that Carter does eventually obviously become the Syndicate, and he gets taken down by the guy that had previously spent time with the Syndicate. Duncan kind of abandoned the Syndicate when he realized what it was, and Carter knew what it was and went in anyways.
Yeah, but Carter becomes the Syndicate, and that's the difference.
I mean, Carter does definitely change the Syndicate a little bit, but he makes it worse, honestly. Much worse. Much more profitable, but much worse.
Much more profitable, yes. That is exactly what Carter does to businesses. He makes some profit!
Another moment that we can then re-implement into the story is the discovery that Sophia is obviously, part of this cult. Now she's not like a direct, she doesn't have any like real magical powers to begin with, but she was basically taken at a young age by this cult to, help them out a little bit because she has good affinity with the type of shit they're into, like history or like alchemy or whatever.
Most likely history.
And the company's like the military CEO that Duncan still works for, he'll eventually start. When Duncan probably does join the Syndicate, then why do you do it that way? The CEO will basically point the finger to Sophia and be like, I've got a lead for you. Investigate her. You'll find something, and he does. He finds something. Sophia's discovered. She flees. Duncan and Carter both chase after her, and we again have that gunpoint moment where Duncan does decide to let her go.
Pretty much with Carter in between them.
Yeah.
Stealth mission success.
And obviously the rest of the people by then, they know that something's up. Like they know that Sophia has basically betrayed her, so she'll be out of the picture for a little while. Well, Carter will likely disappear from the picture with her for a little bit.
Yep.
It's one thing that was difficult then and is difficult now is obviously Duncan's going to need to find a way to explain to everyone else why he let her go. Obviously the easy explanation is, well, she could have ratted me out too, but that is a dumb thing to say to everyone else.
Yeah.
Because by this point he knows that he's part of this now. Like whatever investigation he thought they were all a victim from, he's now actively helping. So he kind of has to keep his mouth shut about that.
Yeah, fair.